Alright guys, it's time to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum on the channel once again. Now I know there is some altcoins here and there pumping, but I'm not going to take a look at any right now. If there's anything pumping tonight, if we start to recover, maybe I will look at something. But for the moment guys, we do need to look at Bitcoin. Now, I want to go ahead and say this is kind of evolving into a head and shoulders pattern. Now, I do think we will get a bounce, and I've put an approximate neckline right here, guys. And basically, I think it's going to bounce somewhere around this area. You can see here, it did go a little bit lower back, when was this? On Monday, April the 7th. This is actually the week of April the 7th, I should say. So it got a bounce down here at about, let's just say $74,000, $75,000. Yes, it could go a little bit lower. Probably it gets a bounce at that point if it goes that low. Now, I do still think if it doesn't go any lower, we do still have a head and shoulders in play here as long as it does something like this, guys. It'll go up here. Probably in the same vicinity, it will start to roll over. So we're talking about a bounce up to maximum maybe like $110,000 before it starts to roll over. So if it gets a bounce like this, guys, I need to go ahead and say you probably should start taking profit somewhere around $105,000 to $110,000. Now, that is not financial advice, of course, but I'm going to say, guys, you really risk having a head and shoulders here, this pattern. If we go back in history, you can kind of see this here. We do have also in the last cycle somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern where you have the shoulder here, you have this head here, and then we have this shoulder right here, guys. It's not the most beautiful head and shoulders pattern, I should go ahead and say, but this one here is evolving into a more beautiful head and shoulders pattern, which we do not really want to see. Now, if, for example, this just rips upward and breaks the new all-time high here, back from, let's say, yeah, it was in September, it looks like, or October, it looks like the week of October maybe. Then probably it's not a head and shoulders pattern, but we have to see a rocket ship here, which at this moment I am not seeing, guys. I am not seeing any relief. We're not seeing any bounces, along the way here. This is much more ugly, I can say, than it was over here, but this is just straight down. This is not good, guys. Now, before I go a little farther in this video, guys, you can claim some bonuses on my favorite crypto exchanges below. I have partnerships with 7 exchanges, and we have Moodix here, guys. You can get a free 7-day trial, and if you want to get a cold wallet, you can get CypherRock X1. It's just about to start airdropping, and I've been told it's coming soon. It hasn't started yet, guys, but it is coming soon. So basically, it's going to pay you back once you buy it. And that's a good thing, but you can get 17% off your wallet today if you buy with this link. Also, you can follow me on X here. Now, one more thing I do need to mention about Bitcoin here, guys, is that the neckline, if it is broken, look at the target. This target actually goes down, and I put this on a weekly time frame. If we just draw a trend line from back in March of 2020, and we get this bounce here in March of 2023, are we going to get a bounce here in March of 2026? That could be. We are following this trend line. Maybe the bottom will be about March of 2026. And, I've been saying for a while that maybe we're going to have some short-term bear market. Now, in my opinion, I would think that it's going to be 2 or 3 months at a maximum. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. This is just an estimate, guys. This is just my personal guess. Anybody can make a guess, any influencer or YouTuber. But yeah, we do have to look at the similarities here. We do have March of 2020. We have a bounce in March of 2023, basically. And yeah, maybe March of 2026 is where this bounces before it gets to the next new all-time high. Now, I really hope we do not break this level here. I do think there is a lot of support basically from about, let's say, 72,000 all the way down to at least 55,000. So there's about, $16,000, $17,000 of support right here. Maybe we get a giant wick here before it gets a bounce. I just don't see it breaking this area, even if it's a bear market, guys. I don't think it's going to break it to the downside. I know a lot of people weren't expecting to break 30,000 in the last cycle, but yeah, it was broken, and we have to be prepared that it could break. But I just see a lot of trading here, guys, and I just think it's going to take a hard push. There's going to have to be World War III maybe for this to break this support here, I would say. Now, I have said a few days ago, basically about 5 days ago, that we were in a bear market if we drop out of this channel with Ethereum, and we have done that. We have also gotten a rejection right at the channel as well. Now, we have lost support here at about $2,700. So this is not a good thing. There is actually a lot of support, though, through here. If you see this, guys, from May 10th to, what is this, July, there's like 2 months right there, guys. If we go back in history, there's also another consolidation here. There's a little bit through here, but basically, let's just put this on a weekly time frame. We do see a lot of support in this area. So this is going to be a little bit hard to break. If we break it, I do anticipate a bounce down here at about 2,300. I am hoping we do not get to that point, though. That's really not a good point, I would say, and it would be really ugly for Ethereum. But also, we could draw a trend line as well from this bottom, and we can put something like this. Now, I know it has broken through this before, but mainly it's gotten bounces here. It's gotten a bounce here. Did break it temporarily here, so that's not the best sign if we would break it. We might have a few more weeks of pain, something like this. Maybe we can call this just a fake out, of course. But I do anticipate probably a bounce right here at about 2,300 if we break this at about 2,500. This is shaping up to be one of the worst Novembers we have ever had. Now look at 2018, 36.5% to the downside. We're already at 25% down for November. It's been a really ugly Q4. This is just really amazing because everybody expected an amazing Q4 here. And I can say I did too, guys. Now, Q4 is about 27.5% down for Bitcoin. Ethereum is even uglier, but, Ethereum just had massive quarters here. Was up about more than 100, like 110% in Q2, Q3. But, yeah, typically Q4 is not bad for Ethereum. Maybe we can say 50-50 really, but Q1 is probably the best, I would say. So we have to kind of hang in there with altcoins a little while, and I do think Q1, Q2 will be better for altcoins. Now Q1 is typically not so good for Bitcoin, so let's see. We're right in the middle of Q4 here for Bitcoin. It can still get a bounce. It's not, a terrible quarter for it. And maybe we end up with minus, but not so much in the end. We just have to be patient, guys. We really have to stick together. Don't panic sell. That's, it's up to you whether you want to sell or not. If you need money, of course, and you're down, hey, I understand. But now is not really the time to panic sell, because once you sell, usually the way it works is you miss out on the bounce, and usually it comes within a day or so, and then you're like, oh my God, I got to buy back in. So you buy less Bitcoin or whatever you just sold. So probably a good idea at this point just to hold and, get ready for the ride, the roller coaster, guys. It's, you become emotionless if you have enough of these roller coaster rides like I have. So I've been in crypto for about 5 years, guys. This doesn't really affect me so much. I will keep buying. I will keep staking whatever I have for very high percentages. And maybe I will sell the profits of the staking and just keep going, guys. Now, the total market cap looking very, very, very ugly. We could also draw a trend line here, but basically we have to go back to about this point here in September of 23, and we have broken that. Pretty far, actually. We're pretty far to the downside on this trend line. Now, we're looking at this on a monthly time frame. So again, there is still time for this to get a bounce. We need to bounce at about, let's say, 3.11 trillion. We're sitting at 2.81 trillion. So on monthly time frame, let's see what happens. Let's see what this looks like on a weekly time frame. We have actually just lost this on a weekly time frame this week. So there's still the full weekend. We could also, see this as one giant wick. We just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what Trump is going to say. We don't know, what Sailor or any other company is going to do. Maybe they start buying up this, wick here. And, our crypto market cap will probably go up. We'll see. That's not a guarantee. I'm just saying that could happen. Now, looking at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, guys, we do still have a higher low situation. So you can see the low down here back in December of 2022, January 2023, and we gradually worked our way up. We are still making lower highs. As long as we don't break down here, let's just say less than about 900 billion or so, 950, then we're probably okay. We still are making higher lows along the way. And every time we keep making higher highs. So this is just basically one giant channel that we're, in. But usually ascending channels are not good. Let me go ahead and say that. They usually break to the downside. I think the percentage is something like 70% they break to the downside. So, yeah, 30% chance it does break to the upside. But right now at this point, we are on thin ice, I can say. Now, looking at the Bitcoin dominance here, guys, we are still on track here. So once we break this neckline here, this is this red line. Now, it's only an approximate red line for the neck. We could probably adjust this, of course. I'm just putting it right here. But let's say we break this red line and maybe a little bit more. Then we probably, for certain, have a head and shoulders here, which means the dominance would go down to about, let's just say 50% here. And it would be very, very close to this area that, altcoins typically go, guys, between about 48% down to about, let's say, 39.5%, 40%. So, yeah, once we break this, neckline, then I think we're going to all be a little bit happier, unless you're a Bitcoin holder, of course. But those who hold altcoins, those are probably the people who are watching my channel, because I go into altcoins more than Bitcoin and Ethereum on this channel. So you're going to be much, much happier. So probably, you should enjoy these prices right now, because they are probably going to be much higher soon. Now, one thing that is not good here, this is the monthly chart. Now, there's still time. Let's go ahead and say there can always be a wick above this line, as you see right here. You have a few wicks in here that, were above this line. But this line is, the line that it should get rejected from. And if we stay under it, that's a good sign. So, like I said, there is still about 9 days in November. But people are taking their money out of crypto. They're putting it into USDT. So this dominance is actually going higher. Now, we need to see it get down here. This is what we want to see. But right now, it's looking bullish for USDT dominance, which kind of goes against us when we're talking about the Bitcoin dominance. Altcoin season index went from a 39 to a 43 right before this video, so people are buying altcoins a little bit more. Liquidation heat map, look at this. $2 billion have been wrecked, mostly longs in the last 24 hours. That's amazing. This is really, really getting elevated. And if we go to the fear and greed, guys, a 14 right now. It's, we haven't seen these numbers for such a long time, and people fear, and we're still above $80,000. Amazing. Bull market peak indicators, again, it's still going back. It's at 41.5% basically. The Pi cycle top indicator still going back as well. So basically, these lines are not moving in on one another. They're actually going away from each other. Now, on the economic calendar, we do have a couple of speakers today. We have industrial production, we got PMI, and also Michigan numbers, so check those later today. Today has actually been a very negative day. Unfortunately, the sentiment is still risk off, and that trend is growing. Now, if we go to the FedWatch tools, it's about a 43% chance that we get a cut, 56% that we're not going to get a cut, and Polymarket is actually a little bit different, as you see here. It's more in favor of no change. Now, if we go to crypto bubbles, not looking too good across the board, pretty much just straight red. The year is still green, amazingly. Anyways, guys, if you want to stake your crypto, you can go to Coinando, check that out. I just did a Tensor video last night. And guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with friends, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.